Good evening. Welcome to the evening forecast discussion for August 10th, 2014. It's the end of the weekend. Sunday's on the way out and Monday's on the way in. And unfortunately, it looks like next week, or this coming week, should I say, is looking a bit stormy here with the threat for very heavy rainfall and the threat for flash flooding, especially Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. And then a very cool air mass starts to lock in over the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area by the time we get to the end of this upcoming week. So definitely no heat waves. That's somewhat of good news there, but definitely a very stormy week on the way. So let's take a look at the latest model guidance and, of course, all the observations. So let's start off with the observations here throughout the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. And as you can see, we pretty much averaged near to slightly below normal for today, with temperatures ranging from the upper 70s to lower 80s along the coast and lower to mid 80s away from the coast, especially in the Delaware River Valley. Winds are generally light and variable as we have high pressure overhead. It's around 5 miles per hour or so. And for the most part, we're dealing with clear skies to scattered cloud cover. Now, when we take a look at the radar, it's pretty much high and dry throughout the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. And for tomorrow's rush hour, it will be dry as well, as all the rainfall is going to be focused down to your south towards the Ohio and Tennessee River Valley. So we get another day of dry conditions, and probably into Tuesday morning as well, dry conditions. And then it gets, well, a little bit wet around here. Take a look at the latest infrared satellite picture, and you can see a stationary front that is locked in over the southeast. And we start to see this cold front. Now, this cold front is going to be a major player here because we're setting up a dynamic contrast of 3 air masses. You can see high pressure is locked in over the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. And we'll see clouds increase this evening and on through tomorrow as that moisture starts to build. But where is the moisture coming from? Well, from 2 sources. One, the Atlantic, and the other place, the Gulf of Mexico. We get a clear picture of what's going on here on the water vapor satellite picture. So here's our departing trough, right? Now this high pressure system is going to shift towards the Canadian Maritimes. And as it does so, it's going to lead to more of a southeasterly to easterly wind coming off the Atlantic. That is a transport of a marine air mass that is basically sitting right here in the Gulf of Maine. So that gets shuttled into the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area, and that means temperatures on Tuesday are going to struggle in the 70s. But it gets even more interesting because this deep trough that is starting to really cut itself off and go into a negative tilt is going to pick up all this moisture here. And this is a tropical air mass. So we have a marine air mass with cool yet very moisture laden. Then you got a tropical air mass, which of course is warm, moisture laden, and of course unstable. And finally, you have your polar air mass that is bringing some of the coolest conditions of the year on the way, well, at least for the summer on the way, that will contrast these 2 other air masses, and it's drier. So when you get a contrast of 3 air masses over one location, specifically over the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area, you end up with the threat for some very heavy rainfall Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, and that rainfall will have the potential of producing localized flash flooding and urban flooding and very poor driving conditions Tuesday night through Wednesday morning. Just how much rain is going to fall? Well, the latest HPC forecast suggests anywhere from 1.25 inches right along the immediate coast to as much as 3 inches of rain. Now, right now, the forecasters have this 3-inch right over Connecticut. Understand that this is based on the potential for heavy downpours within the rain shield. So really, everywhere has the potential for at least 1 to 2 inches of rain, easily. Then, depending on where some of these localized heavy downpours develop, you could get as much as 3 inches of rain at this event. And the reason why is that you have basically a marine air mass locked in with tropical moisture moving over that marine air mass. That alone will lead to significant rainfall. And then you have even stronger lifting with the cold front moving through from the west, leading to significant lifting and, as a result, very heavy downpours. And what you could probably expect here is a line, a column of very heavy rainfall inching from southwest to northeast Tuesday night into Wednesday morning that will impact the entire Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. So let's take a look at the latest model guidance using the Penn State UL website, and we're using the European model guidance this evening. So again, for tomorrow, high pressure is in control from tonight on through tomorrow. Temperatures will fall off into the upper 50s to lower 60s along the coast and mid 50s over the interior. For tomorrow afternoon, that high pressure starts to give way. Skies start to see some more cloud cover. We have temperatures rising into the upper 70s to lower 80s along the coast and lower to mid 80s everywhere else. Then on Tuesday, this is where it gets interesting. On Tuesday morning, we have clouds increasing to overcast cloud cover. Temperatures on Tuesday morning will range from the lower to mid 60s. Now notice what we have here on Tuesday morning. This trough starts to get cut off and definitely tilts in a negative fashion. So what that means is that you're going to draw moisture in from the Atlantic at the mid and upper levels and the Gulf of Mexico. So you can see you have this column of very heavy, very dense moisture, over 90% focused in this line here. See how it's perpendicular like that? Now why is this important? Remember when I said the heavy rainfall will lift from southwest to northeast? Well, that's basically going to happen along the warm front slash occluded front that we'll see develop on Tuesday afternoon. So on Tuesday morning, that rain starts to organize itself over Virginia, West Virginia, and Pennsylvania and lift up towards the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. By the time we get to Tuesday afternoon, showers will start breaking out. Very heavy rainfall will develop by the evening hours. And then on Wednesday morning, that complex, that heavy rainfall starts to push right over the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area. Now notice what we have here set up. We have an upper level low in the Canadian Maritimes, but a high pressure system locked in over the Canadian Maritimes at the surface. So you have a blocking pattern. So this is not going to move very fast. And you have a negatively tilted trough, which means we have significant lifting over the Philadelphia and New York City metropolitan area, and also very strong moisture advection in three areas: the Gulf of Mexico, the Atlantic, and also the Canadian Maritimes. So the combination of these three sources of moisture with all the strong lifting and the contrast of temperatures lead to that very heavy downpours. The good news is that by Wednesday afternoon, this front and this complex will start to lift northeast into New England, and we'll start to see clearing skies from southwest to northeast on Wednesday afternoon, with temperatures on Wednesday ranging from the mid to upper 60s for lows and lower to mid 80s for highs. Now, one little caveat there: if the front moves slowly over, let's say, Connecticut and Long Island, then those temperatures most likely will be stuck in the mid 70s, and it's just going to be a wet, raw day throughout the region. You really won't see that clearing take place until the late evening hours. So again, a little bit of volatile forecast for Wednesday, but we're going to have to see exactly how this all evolves. But one thing is for sure, some very heavy rainfall is on the way. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and of course on Sunday, what we have in place basically is high pressure. Now, while that's happening at the surface, we do have a strong upper level low around the St. Lawrence River Valley. So I can't rule out an isolated shower, especially over Connecticut, northeastern Pennsylvania, the Hudson River Valley, all the northern tier areas. I can't rule out an isolated shower during the next couple of days. But most locations can expect sky cloud cover and cool temperatures. Remember, our normal temperature should be in the lower to mid 60s for lows and mid 80s for highs. For Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we're looking at low temperatures in the mid to upper 50s, high temperatures in the upper 70s to lower 80s through the entire period. So we're going to definitely run a little bit below normal for this time of year, with some significant dry air in place, making for some very comfortable weather conditions. Well, that's your forecast discussion for tonight. Of course, I'm your meteorologist, Stephen DiMartino. Follow the latest weather information at nynjpaweather.com and nynjpaweather on Twitter, Facebook, Google+, and LinkedIn. And as always, stay safe out there.